Alrighty guys, welcome back to part 3. We're going to continue on where we were leaving it, and the next one is going to be overcome, if it is actually on here, if I can even locate it, of course. That's going to be the biggest question. Probably going to have to come back, I think, at the end of this and finish off the remainder, as I seem to not be able to locate some of them. Alrighty, we'll just continue on then. The next one is going to be pharmacy. So unlocking chests is 40, 60 or 80% faster, and unlocking your first chest guarantees an emergency medkit. Also reduces the audible range of your chest unlocking noise by 8 meters. So it's definitely not a bad perk in terms of, if you're heavy, if you're trying to actually actively make a chest build, to get more, add-ons or get more, items itself. It's not a bad perk. Probably going to sit this in D tier because it actually guarantees getting a medkit right off the bat for your first one. It does actually unlock chests a lot quicker, and it reduces the noise too. So probably going to sit in D tier. Alrighty, plunder's indistinct. Very glad that this perk actually came next. So I'm going to put this perk into C tier. Really am a massive fan of this perk. So this one is the aura of closed chests and dropped items in the environment within 16, 24, 32 meters of your location are revealed to you, and also grants a considerably better chance at finding an item of a higher rarity from chests. So the amount of times that I've used this perk and have been able to locate chests across the map, for an example, not literally but 32 meters away, and on top of that, the amount of times that I've been able to get a lot of decent high quality items from the chest too, and being able to escape and be able to take this item with me as well has been quite a lot. So if you haven't used this perk, definitely would suggest it if you're kind of running low for items. It's a very great perk to use. Of course, you can use that perk that will give you the add-on feature too. They work obviously quite well together, but yeah, great perk. Probably going to put it in C. Alrighty, so throat's getting very sore now, but we will carry on. So the next one's poised. So after a generator is completed, you will not leave any scratch marks for the next 6, 8 or 10 seconds. Great perk, without a doubt. Probably going to chuck this in C tier. I haven't actually used this perk. Probably going to put it in B or C. Probably going to leave it in B for now. Definitely a great perk. If you're going to be doing generators completely a lot of the game, which 9 times out of 10 I am always doing a gen where I can. If you're completing that gen, of course, which you have a 1 in 5 opportunity to be on a gen to complete, you will not leave any scratch marks for quite a lot of time, which means you can easily sprint away, and the time the killer gets there, he's not going to be able to track your scratch marks because they're not going to be there for him to see. So yeah, overall great perk. Might just put it in C though. Alrighty, power struggle. So with this perk itself, while being carried by the killer, reaching 20, 5, 20 or 15% wiggling progression activates this perk. So you can drop a pallet, you can drop a nearby standing pallet to stun the killer and escape their grasp. So probably going to put this in B tier, if not A. Definitely a great perk. Obviously this is only going to work if your teammates or yourself haven't used many pallets around you when you go down. However, getting to that wiggling progression which is going to be the biggest thing, but you will be able to drop a pallet yourself, which you'll be able to stun the killer and you'll be able to escape. So overall, it's a great perk. It's situational though, so I'll probably chuck it in B. Alrighty, so we've got Premonition, which is going to be a default perk, as you can see down here. So this perk in particular is going to receive a auditory warning upon looking in the killer's direction within a 45 degree cone within 36 meters. and depending on the tier will reduce the cooldown from 60, 45 or 30 seconds each time you can activate it. So overall, you know, if you want to get more intel for where the killer is, if you're not sure and you're playing solo, so you don't have any comms, this is going to be a decent perk to use. Probably going to put it in D tier though, but you'll definitely get some sort of audible, you know, overall intel to be able to know where the killer's kind of at. So yeah. Sorry, road's getting very sore, but we're, you know, kind of close to finishing. So we're gonna get through it. Next one's going to be Prove Thyself. So this perk is increasing your repair speed by plus 15% for each survivor within 4 meters of your location, up to a maximum of 45%. Overall, pretty good. If you're doing gens with teammates, this is going to really benefit you. Benefit each survivor, sorry. This effect is also applied to all other survivors within that range too. Also does grant a 50, 75, 100% bonus blood points for cooperative action. So overall, it's a great perk in terms of helping out your team. Gonna put it in D though. So Quick and Quiet's next. So Quick and Quiet is definitely going to be an exceptional perk. So it suppresses both the loud noise notification and the sound effects triggered by rushing to vault windows or rushing to enter or exit lockers. So gonna put this one into A. It's a great perk. You can use this every 30, 25 or 20 seconds depending on your tier. It's a great perk. Gonna put in A. You could argue for it to be in B though, but the fact that it's got such a low cooldown too, so you can use it quite often, I'm gonna set it up higher. Alrighty, the next one's going to be a red herring. So this perk is when you repair a generator for at least 3 seconds, its aura is revealed, highlighted to you in yellow. So the generator stays highlighted until it is either fully repaired, you start repairing another generator, or enter a locker. Entering a locker will trigger a loud noise notification for the killer at the highlighted generator's location. So this is obviously a good perk in terms of kind of like the deception perk, where you're kind of giving false information to the killer, so he's not really 100% sure that's where you're at. Probably going to set this perk though into D, if not C. But yeah. Alrighty, next one's going to be Renewal, if we can find it. Throat is getting very sore, guys. Renewal, not able to find it. Once again, unless they've changed the design, but yeah, anyways, we'll move on. So, Repressed Alliance is next, which is after repairing generators for a total of 55, 50 or 45 seconds, this ability will activate, which is pressing the active ability button to call upon the entity to block the generator you are currently repairing for 30 seconds, after which Repressed Alliance deactivates. The aura of the block generator is revealed to all survivors in white. So this is going to be a great perk. Going to put it in C. This is going to be a great perk for 2 reasons. The fact that it actually will show all survivors, and as well it's going to block the generator so the killer won't actually be able to damage it. So yeah, overall going to put it in C. But yeah, moving on. So Resilience is going to be next, which is going to be a normal standard perk anyone can get, regardless of the character. Basically, when repairing a generator, completing 5, 4 or 3 good or great skill checks, either one, which will activate Rookie Spirit for the remainder of the trial. So, sorry, I was looking at the wrong perk, sorry. So Resilience itself increases your action speed in repairing, healing, sabotaging, unhooking, vaulting, cleansing, opening and unlocking by 3, 6 or 9% when in the injured state. So it's quite a lot percentage for a lot of actions overall. It's not a bad perk by any means. Probably going to put it in C. Don't think it belongs in D or F though, but yeah, I'm going to set it in C. Resurgence is here, and Resurgence is after being unhooked or unhooking yourself, instantly gain 40, 45, 50% to your healing progress. So it's not a bad perk if your teammates are coming to unhook you and they both focus healing you. You'll instantly heal very quickly. So yeah, overall it's not a bad perk. Gonna probably sit it in C though. Actually, I might sit it in D. I will put it in C. Alrighty, next one's going to be Rookie Spirit, and that is while repairing gens, complete 5, 4, or 3 good or great skill checks, and the perk itself will activate, and once active, the auras of any regressing generators are revealed to you. So any generators that are currently being touched and that have gone down, they're going to be revealed to you, so then you can instantly go to that generator next. Obviously it's really great for intel, probably going to sit it at C tier. Alrighty, so we got Saboteur next, which is while a survivor is being carried, the auras of all hooks within 56 meters of their pickup location are revealed to you. Also unlocks the ability to sabotage hooks without needing a toolbox, which obviously is very great. Sabotaging a hook without a toolbox takes 2.5 seconds, and the sabotage action has a cooldown of 90, 75, or 60 seconds. Overall, a great perk. Probably going to sit this in C tier, if not B tier. I might just put it in C for now. Alrighty, next one's going to be Self-Aware, which is right here. Which is you walk 10, 15 or 20% faster and you can see your own scratch marks. So overall, it's really great because you can see your own scratch marks, so you know exactly what the killer's going to see. Overall, it's not a bad perk by any means. Probably going to sit this in D tier, if not C though. Alrighty, so we now have Self-Care, which is right here. Sorry, throat's getting very sore. Gonna put this perk in A tier. So, without a doubt, it's a great perk. The speed though is 50% of a normal healing speed with a medkit though, but this perk's going to allow you to heal yourself without using a medkit. And of course, it also will decrease the depletion rate while using medkits as well by a certain percentage, which is 10, 15 or 20%. Overall, it's a great perk. If you're not running a medkit, if your teammates aren't running too much healing support as well, you instantly know that this is going to be a great perk to run. Going to probably sit in A tier. Alrighty, so next one's going to be Self-Preservation, which is going to be right here. And this one is not a bad perk, definitely a decent perk, but haven't had too much time to experiment with this perk, to be honest. But with this perk itself, it is stating that whenever another survivor is hit with a basic or special attack within 16 meters of you, the ability will activate. Scratch marks, grunts of pain when injured and bleeding are suppressed for the next 6, 8 or 10 seconds. So it's going to help a lot in terms of the killer not being able to track you. So this is going to be definitely a decent perk if you're constantly unhooking survivors and trying to help out your teammates. So probably going to set this perk at A tier, if not B tier. Situational Awareness is next, which I have seen this perk 3 times. There it is. So, this perk itself is while repairing a generator, its aura is revealed in yellow to all other survivors located within 32 meters. If the killer downs a survivor while you are repairing a generator, you see the auras of all other survivors for 8, 9 or 10 seconds depending on the tier. So overall, it's actually a standard perk that anyone can actually get. It's actually a very decent perk in terms of knowledge or intel. Overall, probably going to put this perk into C tier. Alrighty, Slippery Meat's next, and that's a bit of a meme perk, so probably just going to put this in F tier. The reason for this is this perk is a selfish perk kind of thing, I should say. And basically it's going to grant you 3 additional self-unhook attempts and increase your self-unhook chance by 2, 3 or 4%. So obviously you can stack luck with other survivors, but overall The chance to get off a hook, I believe already is like 4% or something very small. So even with that extra additional chance percentage and those 3 additional attempts, it's definitely not much. You're not actually guaranteed at the end of the day to get off the hook, even with all that bonus. So either way, gonna put this in F tier. Alrighty, next one's going to be small game. So this is going to be receiving a auditory warning upon looking in the direction of totems within a 45-degree cone within 8, 10 or 12 meters. So this perk also has a cooldown, and each token decreases the detection cone's angle by 5 degrees down to a minimum of 20. So if your killer is running hex perks where they can use these totems and stuff to gain a lot from it, it's going to be a great perk. Going to put this in D tier though, because it's situational. A lot of the games you can actually play, a lot of the time the killers won't be running perks where totems are their main use of certain, things. So it's going to be a very situational kind of perk. Not a bad perk obviously for locating these totems, however. Alrighty, next one's going to be Smash Hit, I believe. So this one is after stunning the killer with a pallet, break into a sprint of 150% for 4 seconds. Obviously this is going to use the exhausted status effect. Depending on tier, it's going to be either reduced from 60, 50 or 40 seconds for the cooldown. So definitely a great perk overall. So the only issue with this is you got to guarantee the stun. You've got to have the pallet actually at your disposal to be used, for one. Probably going to put this perk into B tier because just like sprint burst, adrenaline, it does use that status effect. Same with Dead Hard. Overall, it's a great perk though. You get 4 seconds of boosted movement speed, which is more than enough time with the additional pallet stun to be able to get away. Alrighty, next one's going to be Soul Survivor. So this perk is each time a survivor other than yourself is killed or sacrificed, you gain a token, which goes up to a maximum of 3 tokens. Each token grants a stackable radius of 20, 22 or 24 meters within which the killer is unable to read your aura, up to a maximum of 60, 66 or 72 meters. However, obviously it does increase the odds of becoming the killer's initial obsession by 100%. Overall, it's not technically a bad perk. The problem is you're having to rely on your teammates from dying. So it definitely makes it a very selfish kind of perk or build. Probably going to put this perk into F tier. Alrighty, so the next one is Solidarity. So when injured, healing another survivor without using a med kit also heals you with the conversion rate of 40, 45, 50%. So probably going to put this perk into A tier because instead of running self-care, if you're actually healing another teammate, you're also healing yourself at the same time. So definitely not a bad perk. Might put it in B tier actually because self-care is a little bit better, I believe. Alrighty, so Soul Guard is the next one, if we can locate it. So after being healed from or having recovered from the dying state, Soul Guard grants you the endurance status effect, once again, which is going to allow you to take a free hit for the next 4, 6 or 8 seconds. Any damage taken that would put you in the dying state would instead trigger the deep wound status effect, after which you have 20 seconds to mend yourself. Taking any damage while under the effect of deep wound, or if its timer runs out, will put you in the dying state. So there's obviously a perk where there's a lot to it. There's a lot of bonuses you get, but there's a lot of negatives. So overall, probably going to put it in the D side. Alrighty, next one is Spine Chill, which is going to be a default perk again. And this is basically just whenever the killer's looking in your direction within 36 meters of you, the perk will activate, which will increase the trigger odds of skill checks by 10%, decrease the skill check success zones by 10%, increase your action speeds in repairing, healing, sabotaging, unhooking, vaulting, cleansing, opening and unlocking by 2, 4 or 6%. So it's a very small percentage, but it's not a bad perk to be using at the start of the game. There's a lot of perks obviously available to you, as you can see. Probably going to put this perk in D tier. However, it's probably not a bad perk to be running at the start of the game when you're first playing. Alrighty, the next one's going to be Sprint Burst. Going to instantly put this in A tier. The reason is not going to put it in S tier because of one reason alone for this perk. So this perk is going to allow you to sprint for 3 seconds whenever you start to run. So it triggers the exhausted status effect again, and the cooldown's reduced again depending on the tier. So you can use it more often. It's a teachable perk from Meg. Definitely worth picking up. The only argument with this perk though is if you do actually use this perk and equip it, you can't actually sprint around the map without triggering it. However, there is a niche little tool or a trick that you can use to get away with it, and that is when your cooldown is nearly completed, if you start sprinting and running around the map, you will have that at your disposal. So if the killer's starting to chase you, it's instantly just a matter of stopping for 1 second, and then you'll have that ability again, and then you'll be able to sprint and get away. So it's not a bad perk. Definitely an A tier, maybe even an S tier kind of perk. Alrighty. Next one is Stakeout. So Stakeout is every 15 seconds you are standing within the killer's terror radius without being chased. Stakeout gains 1 token up to a maximum of 2, 3 or 4. When Stakeout has at least 1 token, good skill checks consume 1 token and are considered great skill checks, granting an additional progression bonus of 1%. So it's not a bad perk. Obviously you got to get these tokens, and then you will get great skill checks even for if you hit good skill checks. So it's not a bad perk. Probably going to put it into D tier though. So the next perk we've got is Streetwise. So this one is Long Nights Taught You, blah blah blah. Decreases the depletion rate of your items by 15, 20 or 25%. It also extends its effects of all other survivors within 8 meters of your location. So it's not a bad perk. Probably going to put this one into D tier as well. The next perk is Technician, which is failing a skill check while repairing prevents the generator explosion, applies the default regression penalty, and applies an additional regression penalty for 5, 4 or 3%. It's not a horrible perk. Probably going to set it into C tier. So the next one is Tendency. So your ferocious tendency in dire situation allows you to crawl 30, 40 or 50% faster and also recover at the same time. So obviously you can move quicker and recover at the exact same time as you do that. It's not a bad perk. Obviously it's situational because you've got to be down in the first place, so it's not bad. Probably going to put this into C tier though. Alrighty, so the next one is going to be This Is Not Happening, which is going to be here, and increases the success zones of great skill checks while repairing and healing by 10, 20 or 30% when in the injured state. So I'm going to put this into D tier. I nearly put it in C. The reason why I didn't is because it is relying on you to be in the injured state in the first place, and all it's doing is increasing the zone of the great skill checks, of course, which allows you to get them much easier, but in saying that, that's all it's doing. But yeah, definitely going to put it in D, could arguably put it in C though. Alrighty, Unbreakable. So this perk is once per trial you can completely recover from the dying state. Your recovery speed is increased by 25, 30 or 35%. Probably going to put this perk into B. So the reason for this, you could probably put it in A. The reason why I'm going to put it in B though is because it's saying that once per trial you can completely recover which is obviously great by any means, but it's only once. I might actually put it into A tier actually, because that's a free time you can get out of the dying state, which is obviously great. You've obviously got to assume that the killer doesn't pick you up immediately though, so for that reason I might put it back into B. Alrighty, the next one's going to be Up the Ante, which is for each survivor still in the trial, Up the Ante gains 1 token. Each token applies a stackable 1, 2, 3% bonus to the luck of all survivors up to a maximum of 3, 6 or 9%. Not a bad perk. Probably going to put this into D tier because this is just increasing the luck, which for an example is going to allow you to get off the hook with a higher chance. Alrighty, so Urban Evasion. Years of evading the cops taught you well. Basically, this perk is going to increase your crouching movement speed by 90, 95 or 100%. Probably going to put this perk into C tier because this perk is going to allow you to be more stealthy. You're going to be able to crouch and move around the map quicker. Overall, good perk. So the next one we're going to do is Vigil, which is here. And this one is going to increase your recovery rate from the blindness, broken, exhaustion, exposed, hemorrhage, hindered, and oblivious status effects by 20, 25 or 30%. This effect also applies to other survivors within 8 meters, so this is going to be a great perk. It's going to let you recover from these status effects much quicker, and as well as your teammates. Overall, not a bad perk. Going to put it in C tier. Visionaries next, and this perk is going to basically the auras of generators are revealed to you within 32 meters each time a generator is completed. Visionary is disabled for 20, 18 or 16 seconds. So it's not a horrible perk, but all you're getting is just gen knowledge for the locations. Obviously it's going to be great for maps that are inside and you don't see much because there's a lot of walls and turnings and stuff like that. Not a horrible perk overall though, but for a map that's more open, outside, etc., you're probably not going to gain as much from this perk, so probably going to put this in C tier. Alrighty, next one's going to be called Wake Up, which is once all generators are completed, Wake Up activates. The auras of the exit gate switches are revealed to you within 128 meters. When opening an exit gate, your aura is revealed to all other survivors within 128 meters. You open exit gates also faster. Overall, not a bad perk. Gonna put this in D tier though, because it's an endgame perk. Again, there is better perks such as Adrenaline, again, which is in B tier, so yeah. Alrighty, next one's gonna be We'll Make It. This one is again another perk that anyone can get from the Blood Web. Basically, it's going to increase your healing speed by 100% for the next 30, 60, 90 seconds whenever you rescue another survivor. So if you rescue someone, you're going to heal so much quicker. So this is going to work out really well with borrowed time. It's going to work out with other perks such as Kindred. Overall, not actually a bad perk. Probably going to put this perk into B tier. Alrighty, the next one's going to be We're Gonna Live Forever, which is right here, and pretty much whenever healing a dying survivor, your healing speed is increased by 100%. Performing any of the following actions will gain 1 token, which is performing a safe hook rescue, taking a protection hit, stunning or blinding the killer. Each token grants a stackable 25% bonus to all blood point gains up to a maximum of 50, 75 or 100%. So this is obviously a perk that's going to allow you to get more blood points. It's not a bad perk, but just going to put it in D. So not too sure these last 3, but this last perk we've got here is Windows of Opportunity. 100% going to put this in S tier, without a doubt. So this is an amazing perk regardless, whether you know the maps or not, whether you've got amazing map knowledge or not. Great perk. So this perk's going to allow you to be able to see every single breakable wall, every pallet, every window within a 24, 28 or 32 meter radius. So this perk's going to allow you a lot to be able to plan how you're going to escape. If you're being chased, you're going to be able to see pallets and vaults, etc. around through walls, so it's going to allow you to be able to plan a lot easier to actually be able to escape and be smarter with your decision making when you're being chased. Alrighty, so I'm going to have to do a little bit of research with these last 3 perks. I believe because these it would be a Steve perk, that's probably why it's not in, because you can't actually buy Steve anymore. Let me just check. DBD Steve perks, because you can't buy Steve or the Demogorgon anymore because copyright issues. So let me just have a look what his perks are. Yep, so 2 of them are. So Babysitter, which is when you unhook a survivor, the rescued survivor will leave neither scratch marks or pools of blood for the next 4, 6, or 8 seconds. Both you and the killer see each other's aura for 4 seconds, though. Not a bad perk. That's going to be useful for team plays, so B. The next one is going to be Second Wind, which is when you heal another survivor for the equivalent of 1 health state. This is going to activate the next time you're unhooked or unhook yourself. You suffer from the broken status effect. You are automatically healed 1 health state with after 28, 24, or 20 seconds. While Second Wind is active, the following conditions will deactivate it, which is being healed or being put into the dying state. So probably going to put this perk into C tier. And I'm probably going to put this one into C as well. Alrighty, that's going to be the end of it, guys. Hope you enjoy. That's my completed table, of course. Other than that, guys, hope you have an amazing day, and I will definitely see you in the next video, of course, for Dead by Daylight. And of course, if you did enjoy, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.